Hey y'all, welcome back to another Lulu Ladybug Creations Tumbler tutorial. This one is going to be a distressed retro Daisies tumbler. I hope y'all enjoyed today's tutorial, and please be sure to follow me on my other social media pages at Lulu Ladybug Creations across all 3 platforms. Hi, my name is Christy, and I'm the owner and creator with Lulu Ladybug Creations. Y'all can email me if y'all want to at lululadybugcreations@yahoo.com. Other than that, I hope y'all enjoy the beauty of handmade. All right, so we're going to start off with a 20-ounce tumbler from HOGG. I've already sanded it, prepped it, and got it ready. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cover it with this really cute 12 by 12 vinyl that I got from Hobby Lobby, and I believe it's called Retro Daisies, but it's the ones that you buy individually at Hobby Lobby. Now we're going to use my handy dandy measuring skills to measure the right amount of the height and the width of the tumbler and get the right amount of vinyl that we need to cover this tumbler up, totally cover it up. And I know y'all like my measuring skills. They work very well. But anyways, we're gonna get this placed on the tumbler. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna cut off about a 1/2 inch of that carrier sheet, and we're gonna get it placed on the tumbler using the hinge method. Now, to make sure that I have it on straight, I'm gonna lay down the part where it's not, where I didn't cut off the backing, making sure my bottoms and my tops are as straight as possible. And then what we're gonna do is get this large squeegee that I got from the Bowen and using it to lay down the vinyl, trying to avoid getting air bubbles trapped underneath it. Now there was a little bit of an overhang, but at the bottom part also kind of had an overhang, and what I'm going to do is use this edging tool that I got from Amazon, and we're going to cut off just a sliver of the vinyl down at the bottom, just enough to match the amount of stainless steel that I have at the top of the tumbler. And it wasn't much, it was just a little bit, but just so that it's not wrinkling up while it's going over the bottom is what I was trying to avoid. And another thing you can also do is use your heat gun to soften up the vinyl so that it lays flat. But this I didn't need to, I just trimmed off the bottom. Now this overhang that goes around the tumbler, what we're gonna do is I'm gonna use some painter's tape as my measuring tool to cut off a little bit of that excess overlap of the vinyl. Now I know it really doesn't matter to have an overlap, but if you can see it, I don't like to leave it that way. I tried my best to cut off a little bit of that overhang, but as you can see here, it wasn't much. But then we'll take off the painter's tape and making sure that there's no air bubbles trapped. And if there is, at this point is when you want to take your pin and punch little bitty holes, needle holes to get all that air trapped. At this point, I didn't have any. I was good. Not always, I was good. But anyways, I took this out and I spray painted it with Rust-Oleum black and white. Now we're going to take 3 acrylic paints and put them on this little lid part that I got from the bottom of my Tipsy Magnolia tumblers that I do glitter bottoms with. I like to save them and use them for cases like this. But this color right here is going to be in Ceramcoat, and it's in a Sunbright Yellow. And then I'm also going to use CraftSmart in Pink Blossom and DecoArt in Orange Flame. Now I'm going to use a chip brush. And with this chip brush, I'm going to start off with the lightest color so that we don't get any contamination of the darker color into the yellow. Start with the yellow and just randomly put brush strokes all over the entire tumbler in no particular order, just all over. And we're going to do that with each color. We're going to do that with the orange next, and then the last color will be the pink. Now I am tapping off a little bit of the color before I brush it on, and that's just so that it's not too dark. I want you to see the bristles of the brush when I create those brush strokes. Now, when you're doing brush strokes, you can put them on as dark or as light as you want. I chose not to go too dark, but if you wanted to go darker, you can. It's entirely up to you. But we'll let this dry. Now what we're going to do, now that it's dried, we're going to use some acetone and some alcohol and a napkin, and we're going to take off that paint. Okay. Y'all know in all my videos there's some kind of a mistake going on, but that's how y'all learn, right? At this point, I thought I shouldn't have used black as my undercoat of paint. I should have used something like, one of the colors that I'm using as a brush stroke, but I used black for my distress. But as you can see, the black smeared all over the place, and I thought, oh no, I ruined it, but we're going to save it. We are going to save it like we always do. But we'll get some alcohol, we'll clean up what we can, and continue forward with the acetone. And we'll do this for, you're going to use some elbow grease on this part because, it kind of got a little hard. But as you can see also, I'm taking off some of those brush strokes, which is what I didn't think I was going to be doing, but, it is what it is. But we'll go ahead and make all our distress marks and clean up all the black paint that spread over the entire tumbler. Get it cleaned up, and then we'll move on to our next step. Now, I didn't want to cut off the filming. I wanted y'all to see the process. So I'm going to speed up the camera here shortly, but it's still going to take you to the entire step of me distressing this tumbler. Okay, now that I've got everything in place where I want all the distress marks, we're gonna go back in with our chip brush and those same 3 colors that we used to begin with. And we are going to add some more brush strokes, being careful not to paint over the portion of where it shows the vinyl. And again, we're going to start off with the lightest color and go from light to dark, and then just go over again with random brush strokes all over the tumbler. Be careful not to put it over the portion of the vinyls where you made your distress marks, because you want to see those cute little flowers. But anyways, we're going to go over this entire tumbler again, and then we'll go on to our next step. Okay, now that I've got all my brush strokes in place, we're gonna go in and let it dry. And I didn't choose to put epoxy at this point. I did now, and it's actually just 1 coat because I was gonna put the flowers over the paint directly. And I said, no, well, let's go ahead and put some epoxy first. But anyways, we're going in with these cute little retro daisies that I got from Cricut Design Space. So I won't have a link for these daisies, but everything else I'll have a link down in the description. But in no particular order, we're going to place these 4 colors of daisies in 4 different sizes, or 5 different sizes. I didn't use all of them, but anyways, we're going to lay them just randomly over the entire tumbler, being careful not to cover too much of the vinyl, but enough to just make them, just randomly all over the place. And then once we get these vinyls, these little flowers that I used, I printed these flowers on a printable sticker paper. And of course, that sticker paper also will be linked in the description below. I got it from Amazon. But we'll place all the flowers that we need to place, and then go in with our final coat of epoxy. I know I said we were going to put a final coat of epoxy, but I completely forgot we were putting on a decal. This decal I got from Creative Fabrica, and it's called Grow with the Flow. And it's a cute little retro style bubble font. And I was going to do an offset of this, but the orange vinyl that I was using was a glitter vinyl, and my Cricut machine was just not wanting to cut it. So I gave it up, and we're gonna just go with yellow. And this yellow vinyl I got, it's one of those single colors also from Hobby Lobby. I don't think I put that one in the description, but if you've been to Hobby Lobby and you've seen how they sell the individual 12x12 vinyls, that's what this one was. But we're gonna get this placed on the tumbler and then go with our final coat of epoxy, and we're using Resin Rockers for our final coat. And then we'll come back in with our finished photos and a finished video of the completed tumbler. hope y'all enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope y'all got something out of it as far as information goes on how to apply your decals. And please be sure to like, subscribe, and share this video. And also check out the description. I have a wish list on there from Amazon. Check it out for me. Comment below if you have anything, any suggestions, any feedback, anything that you'd like to comment on. And yeah, I really do hope y'all enjoyed this video. I want to thank y'all for watching, and please stay to the end and see the next video I have for y'all to watch.